Hey everybody, so this is part 2 of that thrifting haul from our road trip, and I'm releasing this on a Saturday evening probably by the time all the editing and uploading and downloading and all that good stuff is done. And so I was watching through it and I was like, wow, I mean, I'm pretty laid back, but I was even more laid back than normal. So if you're having trouble falling asleep this evening, this will probably be the perfect video for you. Anyway, okay, so I just wanted to say this is the part 2 to that our road trip thrifting haul, and at the end it talks about me getting the next bin for the third and final, for the third section of our trip, but that's going to be another video which will come out shortly. So here we go. Okay, so picking up where we left off, we were leaving Spokane. We were heading up to go visit our friends up near the Canadian border in the Bellingham-ish area. And what I like about thrifting up there, when I thrift up there, I go with my friend. And she said the last time she went thrifting into a thrift store was when she was with me, like 4 years ago or something like that. So anyway, she just likes to come and see the things that I pick up. And it kind of fascinates her what kinds of things actually sell. So for example, in one of her local stores, I found this whole stack. See this? Okay, this is not vintage, but this is Ziploc Zip and Steam. And yes, these sell. So I double checked. I saw the big pile of them like in the kitchenware area. And I was like, ooh, because a lot of times when like an item like this is discontinued, there's still a market for it. So I did a quick scan with my eBay app on the barcode, and I found some comps. There was one listing, 5 of these sold for $75. So I paid $2.50 a piece, and I've got, is there 10 in there? Zip and Steam. So there's a couple different, I think most of them are this big style package that has 7 large bags in it. So just this small one has, it's a smaller size. But anyway, so I'll figure out what to do with those. I got some stickers to take off, but I will, sorry, they're super loud. Anyway, I will figure out how I want to lot them up or just do them quantity listing. I'm not sure. But for vintage, one of the first things I saw at the thrift store were these 2 little doll dresses, or this one might be pants, but anyway, 2 little outfits for dolls. And you can see they were from Toys R Us. They're made to fit 15 to 17 inch dolls like Cabbage Patch. So I don't know, you know me, I can't resist new old stock type things. So I paid $4.50. I don't know, probably like $15 at the most, but still super cute. The Ruby Lane, there's a lot of doll collectors and buyers and stuff on there, so I knew I had a market for those. So we'll see how they do. I have to lie, I did buy a piece of clothing that wasn't personal. Green tags that day, I believe, were either half or they were like the cheap. They might have just been half, so $4. This vintage dress is by Leslie Faye, so still a company. I think it's still doing stuff. But anyway, I just thought this was kind of cool. Very 70s, 80s. Kind of that polyester, not quite double knit, but just definitely a vintage feel. Kind of like the fabric I bought that I showed. No, a little bit different. Okay, anyway, that was the one little thing of vintage clothing that I found. And it was cool because their store was a Value Village again, and they had a section for like ethnic dresses and things. So a lot of like saris and a lot of outfits from India, and that was just kind of mixed in. So they would put their muumuus and like all that, and I guess that just had a tropical kind of look, so they threw it in there. but it was kind of fun to look through that whole section. Okay, I picked this up. It is a horse earring holder. I have sold these before. It's you know, not super valuable. I paid $3 for this one, but a horse, I've never seen the horse before, so I think that was kind of cool. And you just have to be careful. I sold one recently that was like, what was it, mushrooms or toadstools or something like that. And I gave it to my husband to ship. And he said he picked it up, he put it down on the table, and it like busted in half. So I'd never had that happen before, but just keep in mind this metal is not hardcore. Anyway, I just saw the signature. It is Torino, Torino. It's a company that makes a lot of these type things. So that was super cute. I have found them before. Like I said, all different kinds of shapes. I picked this up for my husband for his Etsy shop. It's just a little thermometer, but bright yellow, and it was made in Hong Kong, so it's vintage. Anyway, it's like a thermometer with a magnet back that you can stick somewhere. I don't know. It's just one of those kind of funky little things that you just don't find every day. Okay, so that was, we're still dealing with Value Village, so I'm gonna stick with Value Village. I did go, we went to Goodwill as well. So I gotta, let's see. You know what? This I should have shown in an earlier video. This was, I think, from the Value Village where we all went together as a family in Spokane. So it should have been in the last video, but this is something my husband picked up. Transformers, it is missing part of it, and he looked through all the toy bags looking, hoping to find the missing piece, because complete, it's a really good price, like really good. And I'll pop it up here. I'll have my husband tell me what it is first. I mean, I know it's a Transformer, but I think it's, you know, it's not new. But anyway, I don't know how he figures out what things are, but he might have just Google lynched it in the store, or he just has knowledge of Transformers. But anyway, even partial, he knew he could still make a profit on that. Okay, so that was supposed to be in the last video. He did pay $7 for that, if that tells you anything. Let's see, what else? This was the only other thing at the, I think, at the Value Village. Just a set of salad servers. Sorry, they're hard to see. They don't need to be in the bag anymore. Sold quite a few of these, especially on Etsy. But very mid-century looking stainless steel solid servers, and they're just marked stainless steel Japan. So I paid $3, and I'll ask like 20 or something like that. Okay, so I think we need to move on to Goodwill. I'll just start with, I did grab a couple bags of patterns, nothing crazy. This one had 2 Raggedy Ann doll patterns in it, Raggedy Ann and Andy. Sold these before, so this one's probably about $10, this one's probably about $12. So $4, yeah, so I was paying $2 a pattern, which is crazy. There is another little thing in here, but I don't know that it's sellable, so we'll see. And then this one was just awesome. I think I have sold something similar before. It's a vintage necktie sewing pattern, but it's uncut and everything. And those sell usually pretty quickly, pretty easily. And then there's just one more, you know, pattern that nothing I'm super excited about. I'm not sure exactly what I'll list the necktie pattern at. I might try for about 15. We'll see. Okay, I have to still do comps and everything on that. But this was interesting. They had such an interesting little section at their Goodwill, but they were all marked as collectibles. The stuff was marked as collectibles. And so they have a different color tag, which means those items probably don't get included in their discounts. This one actually was not. It was a red tag, so it was normal, but it was only $5. And then this was really cool. It's marked Oneida, so it's pewter and it's got a brass handle. Now I found the ad. I found the original Oneida ad. Someone has it for sale. I'm gonna pop it up right here. And I meant to look to see what they called it. Anyway, I'll probably just put the words up above, but it had such an unusual name. It's got like a pour spout, and it was kind of like, you know, it's from like the 80s or 90s or something, and they did like a whole like colonial style set of pewter and brass. And so anyway, it was kind of cool. It does, you know, it has a little pour. I guess it could be a creamer. It had a different name. Like I said, I'll pop that name up before. You let me know if you've ever heard that name before or what it is technically supposed to be for. It could be syrup. I guess it could also be syrup. These are also pretty awesome. This is called PICQUOT. So Picotware, made in England, or Picot, if you're gonna be crazy. Okay, these actually weren't priced that bad either. Except I had to pay for both of them. These were $5 a piece, but I love the shape of this. And I looked up Picotware while I was there, and a set with the sugar and creamer plus I think the teapot actually I think had some pretty good selling prices. So I was like, you know what, this is just really interesting, and that's what ends up happening. Even though I'm not paying like super low prices, I pick up things that I think are interesting and I want to research and I want to learn more about. So it's kind of a price of tuition, but $10, I know I can make profit on that. And then I learned something in the meantime. Okay, editing Shannon here. I just wanted to pop in this little disclaimer here in case you're familiar with the Picot or Picotware. Sometimes, you know, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but when I'm at the thrift store, I see results that I think are very promising. And then I get home and I'm doing further research and I'm like, I don't even know what I saw that made me get all excited. So who knows? Is it thrifting blindness? Is it vintage loving blindness? I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that sugar and creamer. I think the shape of them is awesome. We also have Etsy as an option to list. I was looking at eBay prices, so we might be able to pop those on Etsy, and at least, you know, let's shoot for doubling our money after fees. That would make me satisfied, and moving them on to a new home where they'll be appreciated and loved. So, okay, back to the finds. Now this one was probably I don't know, I don't really regret it, but it's probably my least profitable item that I found. It's a silver plated water pitcher. You can tell it's got the ice guard kind of thing so the ice cubes don't fly out. I paid $13 for it. I did write it down. It's made in Canada. I think it's Essay, if I remember correctly, ESSAY. Essay silver plate Canada. So $12.99. I'm thinking I'll double my money, but I just hadn't ever seen one in such good shape, and I just kind of got caught up in the moment. But very cool looking. At the very least, I could keep it and put flowers in it. Anyway, I can't keep all the things I think were bad buys, right? Okay, now, one more thing. This might have been Value Village. Hold on. Forgot about this. Nope, this was Goodwill. Okay, so this is a spoon rest. Love picking up spoon rests. It's got a little mallard duck on top, and if you've guessed it, can you guess it? Who makes it? It is Otagiri, and it has the little gold foil sticker too, so I don't know if it was used much at all. The gold foil sticker says OMC, which is Otagiri manufacturing company, Japan, and it's from 1982. Paid $3. We'll see. I didn't do comps on that one yet. This one, I don't have any regrets on this, but I did pay up a little, but it just spoke to me. I kept telling my friend, this one is speaking to me, I need to get it. So it's a box. It's a box with a hunt scene on top. And if I open it up for you, hold on, it's got a little lock. I forgot which way it goes, this way. It's lined in cedar, or it's a cedar box actually, with a mirror. Okay, and if you've guessed, it is actually a cigar box. So it's a cigar box that was covered, wrapped, whatever, has a mirror. Anyway, so basically still probably to hold cigars, or the cigars came in this, and then you get the box as like a bonus. So $15 I paid. I don't regret it. I'm gonna list it for like 65 to 70, I think is what I want to do. What do you think? Anytime you want to make a comment, leave a comment below if you think it was dumb, something I bought, or if you would have paid a certain amount, like would you have paid $15 for that? Would you have bought this? I don't know. I think it's cool looking. Okay, one of my other favorite things I found at the Goodwill, and there's two of these. I'm not going to pull them both out. And I was just going down a rabbit hole of information about this. So let me see if I can get the tape off. Masking tape. I love it when the stores just use masking tape. Okay, I have two of these sets. I paid $5 per set. They are restaurant wear, which is one of my favorites. And I'll show you the pattern. Isn't that awesome? That is like mid-century to the max. And so I learned the pattern is called, I believe, Baja. And right on the bottom it says Peter Terrace, T-E-R-R-I-S. It's a Peter Terrace original for Shenango, China, which is definitely a diner, a restaurant wear company. Right, so we've got this awesome cup and saucer set. So I'm gonna pop up here. I was just doing research and look at these awesome ads. So they were marketing this Peter Terrace. It was like 1956-ish or so. And they were marketing these to housewives and to, you know, just the fact that it could be everyday china and that it would be harder to break. It's not quite as thick as regular restaurant wear, but as you can see in the ads, it was like, oh, kids can use it, it's safe for kids, you could use it outdoors, you could use it indoors, all that kind of stuff. So I love the research, I love doing the research. Discontinued already, but like by 1957. So we've got a date on this. There is a pattern Peter Terrace does that seems, as I was researching, it comes up a lot more often. It's called Calico Leaves. And it looks so familiar. I think I have a piece, like a saucer or something, somewhere in my stash somewhere that I never listed because it's just a saucer. But this pattern I didn't see very often. So I'm gonna, it's gotten some use for sure. It's got some scratches and things like that. Like I said, there's two. I'll list them together and see how they do. Okay, so that I believe was everything that we acquired in Bellingham. So our next stop on our trip, we were headed down to my old stomping ground. So the area I used to live, and we hit quite a few thrift stores. Not as many as I would have liked, but you know, we were visiting family. Had to spend some time with them. Anyway, let me swap out the stuff and I'll share those finds with you too.